back to my channel. If you're just tuning in, my name is Ashley. I am a mom of 2. So I just had my daughter. She is almost 4 months. She'll be 4 months next week, and I feel like there are so many more baby videos that I wanted to share with you guys, just because I feel like the few that I have uploaded in these first few months of her life have helped some people, and if there's more advice or whatever that I can give you guys, I'm definitely here for it. So again, baby Dakota is almost 4 months. She's 3.5 months, and I have a toddler who is 2 years old. So this video is kind of going to be just newborn must-haves. These are the things that I feel like the newborn stage is pretty much that first 2 months. In my mind, a baby is newborn till 3 months, but according to like the doctors and the books, newborn is just the first 2 months. I want to share with you like some of the items that I thought really helped me during those first 2 months. Dakota's temperament is very calm. Like, she's literally the calmest, coolest baby. I can breastfeed her and lay her down and she'll put herself to sleep. If I'm cooking dinner, I can just have her facing me, or better yet, like facing the TV, and she'll just entertain herself, and when she's ready for a nap, she'll just fall asleep. Only time she really cries is if she is hungry, or maybe too wet, or maybe she has an upset stomach, but she rarely ever has an upset stomach. So she literally is like goals. But again, I want to share a few of the things that kind of helped me between her and my son in the newborn phase that I think is important to share with you guys. So I'm going to start with pacifiers. Now, with my son, he absolutely loved pacifiers from day one. Dakota, on the other hand, did not like pacifiers. And I remember when my god sister, who is Diamond's age, when she was born, she did not like pacifiers either. And I did live with my godparents for a few months when my son was born, and I just felt like it would help her so much if she had a pacifier. So when it happened with Dakota and I realized that she did not like or take pacifiers either, I was determined to find the right pacifier that she would like. So of course I started with the one from the hospital. She liked those in the hospital, like when she had to give blood, and then like when they did her ear test and stuff like that, or the hearing test. She took the pacifier to keep her calm during those different things. But when we came home, I did wait about 2 weeks to avoid nipple confusion before introducing her to a pacifier full time. And once I had introduced it, she did not like it. So I went ahead and I purchased these. These are by Event. The ones in the hospital are very similar to this. So my fiance actually picked this up from Amazon. I think he just needed to go over a certain amount to get Prime next day. And this was a 2-pack. She hated them. We also tried these. I don't know the brand of it. Nuke is the brand, and I really love these. I think I talked about this and I showed you some of the pacifiers that we tried in one of my previous vlogs. This one was soft, comfortable. I loved this one, and I wanted her to like this one the most because it's just so cute to me. She hated it. And then we went to Event. These are the ones that I used for my son, and he loved these. I'm having some trouble with the connection. I used this Event. Like I said, these are Event, the ones that look like the pacifier, or the hospital pacifiers. They're by Event also, but they also have some that look like this, and they're by the same brand, Event. And my son, these are the ones that we used his entire time of having, the first year he had a pacifier, and he loved these. So this was my last one, and I just feel like it's so plain. They do come in pink and blue and green, but I wanted her to have like a little cute one, you know, and she didn't like them. She wanted the same one that my son wanted. So if your child does not like pacifiers, try this one by Event. Now they do tell you on the package 0 to 3 months, and then the other ones are like 3 to 6 months. They have the age on them, so make sure you get the ones that are for your baby's age group. And these again are the ones, I believe it's either 0 to 3 months or 0 to 6. Don't quote me. What I also love about these Event ones is that the other ones didn't come with a cap, but this one, naturally each one comes with a cap. So you don't have to worry about having like a pacifier holder in your purse or anything like that. They come with a cap, so I can literally throw this in my purse or throw it everywhere, and it is not getting dirty and nasty. And yeah, the reason I'm talking so much about pacifiers is because if you are a new mom, or even if you have multiples already, I know that everybody does not agree with pacifiers. In my mind, I don't agree with my baby being like 3 or 4 years old and having teeth and having pacifiers where it may mess up his or her teeth and require her to need braces. But in that first year when you're getting adjusted, I feel like how do I say this? When you hear somebody else's baby cry, it makes you sad or whatever, but when you hear your own baby cry, it's literally the most piercing, depressing sound. Like, I don't know what it is, but when my kids cry, like, I cannot think, I cannot function, and this is the mute button for me. Again, this is not everybody's preference. If you're not into pacifiers, don't be swayed by me to use them, but I just feel like, generally speaking, this is what's going to calm the baby down if I can't. This is what's going to help to put her to sleep. Like, if I lay her in her bassinet and she puts herself to sleep, 9 times out of 10 she's sucking on the pacifier, and then once she goes to sleep, I'll pull it out of her mouth. Usually she'll let it go on her own, but I will. But if you find yourself overwhelmed, you probably need a pacifier. And if your child does not like pacifiers, try this one and it might work. The next thing I am going to talk about is mini chair. Now, I got this one from Walmart.com with Diamond. I used to frequent like Ross. I still frequent like TJ Maxx and Marshalls, and I used to see these kind of chairs. And when I was pregnant with him, I'm like, oh, I don't want that. Like, I want a nice for moms. I want something bougie, because of course I wanted the best for my baby. Well, someone bought my son one of these. It wasn't Minnie Mouse. There was like some characters at my baby shower, and I'm not even gonna lie, I kind of pushed it to the side like the first couple weeks where I didn't even use it. It was built, but I never really used it. And then I realized, like, when I get in the shower, he can be right here with me if I use that chair. So like, if I take a shower with both of my kids and they're up, I don't have to wait until they go to bed to take a shower. I can just put them in this chair right here, right in front of the shower door, close the door so they can get some of that steam, because the steam is definitely healthy and therapeutic for them, especially if they're congested. Steam does actually wonders for your baby. So if your baby is up and you are the type of mom who, like, I don't want to go take a shower without my baby being asleep, and I'm going to rush while I shower because I'm afraid that they're going to roll over in their sleep, get one of these, because this is going to help you to not have to worry about if your baby is okay while you're in the shower. I definitely struggled really bad with that, where I probably skipped a few days. I skipped quite a few showers when my son was first born. I was just so terrified to leave him alone. I was terrified to sleep. I could not relax for the life of me. So it was kind of like, I'd rather not shower than to leave him, even if he's sleeping peacefully. I just didn't want to do anything. I did not want to mess up. I was so scared. Get you one of these. That way, if you take a 10-minute shower and they cry 5 minutes of that 10 minutes, at least they're in your face and you can see. If they're by the shower door, you can keep reaching and putting the pacifier in their mouths. You can play a little bit of music, which is sometimes what I do. I close the door, turn on my favorite playlist on Spotify or whatever, and get in the shower, and they'll enjoy that time just as much as you do, because they have the music and the steam and all that stuff. Also, like, when I come into the kitchen, she's in this. If I'm working, editing, filming, whatever, she's always in this. If I'm in a different part right there with me and she's awake, this is like the most used seat. She falls asleep in this. Sometimes she has slept in this. Yeah, you need this, because if you get a swing that's stationary, of course that's great, but this literally goes around the whole house with me. Like, if I travel, like in a hotel or something like that, like, I would probably go to the local Target in that area and buy one, and then like give it away to Goodwill before I leave, because this just helps so much. Like, it is everything. Like, you need this kind of seat for your baby, and it just makes being a mom so much easier. Speaking of easier, I know that I rant and rave about these. Everyone needs one of these. And you see how stretchy this is? This is my gray one, and this is the one that I use with my son. This is the Boba Wrap. There is another brand called Moby Wrap. I really wanted this with my son. I honestly couldn't afford it. I think it's like 40 bucks, and I couldn't afford it. But fortunately, like one of my aunts on my mom's side, one of my aunts on my dad's side, both bought me the same exact bobby pillow. So I was able to exchange one for store credit and purchase this with the money or the store credit from one of my bobby pillows, and I fell in love with this thing. So I will say that I used it for the first year with my son, like all the time. So by the time I got to have Dakota, I did buy a fresh one, so I have a black one and I keep that one in the car. And this is everything. You kind of just, you guys have seen me in it. You wrap it around yourself, not twisted like this, but you wrap it with the, and you put the baby inside. We go to dinner or brunch at least once a week, and she's almost 4 weeks, and every single time we go out to eat, I wear her during dinner time. And this just helps to make sure that I'm able to enjoy dinner, eat my food, enjoy my fiance and my son without her crying because she's not ready to sit up and enjoy it with us. Although I will say she is, usually I carry her in the newborn hold, and she's starting to be too big for the newborn hold. So it's time to change her to the infant hold. But yeah, if we're going to the mall and I'm going to be shopping for the next 2 hours, I will wear her. Like I said, she is getting a little bit bigger and she's getting a little bit more comfortable with staying in her car seat. But if you have a baby who does not allow you to shop, does not allow you to eat, does not allow you to clean, wrap them. I also tell people that if it's 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever time, wee hours of the night, even during the day, and your baby will not stop crying, I can almost guarantee that unless there is something wrong, like colic or whatever, if you put them in this, they'll instantly get quiet and go to sleep. This is my sanity. Like, if your baby is super fussy, if you have to like put this on and wear them while you sit and watch TV, it helps so much. Now, as I mentioned, Dakota's temper is very mild. She's very mild-mannered. She doesn't cry or fuss a lot, so I don't find myself having to wear this a lot around the house. But with my son, he was a little bit more fussy than she is. So there's been so many times with him where he just was crying and up for no reason. And I tried music, I tried, you know, everything, and nothing worked. This was the solution. Like, this thing, like, oh my god. Especially having my son, if I want to take him to the walk, take him on a walk, if I take him to story time, if I take him to play at the park or in the mall or anything like that, being able to be, how do I say it? Being able to interact with him and like push him on the sling or play with him while we're outside and chase after him is so much easier to wear her and have my hands free and be able to attend to him and play with him without having to like carry her, push her in the stroller and try and do things with him. Especially like if you go to the park and trying to have a stroller in the sand or trying to hold, you know, you guys understand what I'm saying. You need this. Like, I love this thing so much. There are different brands. Some may be better than others. Again, this is the Moby Wrap, and this is like when I purchased my second one, I just went with the same brand because I liked this one. But who knows, the other brands may be better. But like I said, if it's not broke, don't fix it. This was the bomb for me, and if I have more kids, this is what I would do. If I go to somebody's baby shower, I'm getting them this because this is like your mute button, your hands-free button. It just does everything that you need. If you need to clean up and you just clean the house up, vacuum, wrap your baby. Do it. You need it. The next thing is going to be a portable electric breast pump. Now, I know, especially if you are a first-time mom, you want the best for yourself, you want the best for your baby. That's kind of how I was when I had Diamond, my firstborn. I wanted the big Modelo one, the double pump, and I just wanted it to be so grand and great. And to be honest, I have 2 big breast pumps, and I use each of them maybe twice each. Whereas this one, I got a better use out of because this is a matter of convenience. if we are leaving the house, for example, if my fiance needs me to meet him somewhere or something, or like if my fiance and I want to leave the house, usually it's a routine to get everybody out the house. I've got to change diapers, I've got to get my son dressed, get her dressed, you know, make sure we have like change of diapers and all that stuff, and I also have to feed her before we leave the house. Well, this kind of helps with that because it is battery operated. It also comes with a plug so that you can plug it in the wall if you don't have batteries, but the fact that it's battery operated means that we can all just rush and get in the car, and I can feed her from the passenger seat or the back seat, and I can have her a bottle ready if I need to pump on the go, but I don't actually need the bottle. I also bought this, and you attach it, and this is how you attach like those little bags if you want to store the milk. But this, I believe, was 50 bucks if you are planning on breastfeeding and you know, like, you're not going to be able to travel with a Medela. I don't even remember what those things are called, but you're not going to be able to travel with a large breast pump, even though they come with like car chargers and things like that. If you can get your hands on one of these or something like this one is from Even Flow, and I got it from Babies R Us. This is what you need. Like if we go to a restaurant, or if we're in the mall or anything, like if we're at Cheesecake Factory and there's a 30-minute wait while Derek and the kids sit outside and wait for our table, I can run into the bathroom, or we can all hang out in the car. I can press her, or I can pump her a full bottle, which I've done a few times. Like when we went out to dinner with my dad not too long ago, there was a 20-minute wait, so I sat in the car for 10 minutes and pumped a full bottle before we went in. That way, if she needed it, which she didn't, I was prepared and I had it on the go. So this is definitely a good idea if you are breastfeeding. I think I've been talking forever. Oils, natural oils. Like I said before, I try to go as natural as possible and minimal as possible with her skincare, especially because she did have that baby acne. I started off with coconut oil, but what I found with both of my kids is I did not like coconut oil on them as much as I wanted to. I think everybody loves coconut oil, so in my mind I had to love it. But to be honest, I loved olive oil much more. Now people are telling me that I should get the one that's like Greek, the more fancy one, but this is the one that I've used for my daughter since she was born, and it's the Bertolli extra virgin olive oil. So I will try to find a Greek one or a nicer one, maybe from Whole Foods, and hopefully that one will work better for her. We'll see if there's a difference. But her hair, this nourishes her hair. She's almost 4 months, and this is still the only thing I use. I put some in her hair once a day, or once every other day, and I don't put any other products. I'm trying to ride out with this and not really put any like store-bought hair products in her hair for as long as possible, because I'm so nervous about putting a product and making her hair fall out. So if you are like me and you don't want your kids' hair to fall out, I would much rather use an oil. If coconut oil doesn't work, if olive oil doesn't work, try avocado oil, jojoba oil. Just try different oils and experiment and see what will work. But it's less likely for an oil to make your baby's hair fall out opposed to like Just For Me or something like that. That probably will, especially in the newborn phase. Just use oils. Do not put Vaseline, do not put baby oil. My mom made that mistake with my hair, and it strips the texture. Another thing is pillows. Now, Boppy pillow is probably one of the most common pillows there are. Again, two of my aunts bought me a Boppy pillow for my baby shower. I took one back and got the wrap. This is the original one that I had with my son. I just bought a new cover for it when she was born, and I do use this like if I am getting dressed, I'll sit her up on the bed or whatever, and I do use it. It definitely did help in the beginning with breastfeeding, because you just pop it around your waist and you lay the baby and, you know, you pop a boob in, and it definitely helped. So this is a really good thing, but a regular old soft pillow worked so much more. So this more so for newborns is best to sit them up or prop them up if you're like around the room or whatever like that and you want to prop them up in the bed. But I found that this pillow worked with us so much more. So It's not a firm one. This one is like, I think it's Calvin Klein. Yeah, it's a Calvin Klein one, and it came in like a 2-pack. I think these came from Costco or something like that. And I love this pillow. I wish I had this pillow with my son, but for some reason it's just when I feed her as a newborn, it was just more comfortable. If she is laying on the bed and I prop her up, this was more comfortable. Like, this is literally her pillow, and it's starting to get even more weighed down. She does use the Halo bassinet, so I would like lay this in the bassinet and kind of lay her in it. Of course, be cautious. You're not supposed to sleep, your baby is not supposed to sleep with anything in the bassinet. They're supposed to sleep flat on their backs. Don't try this at home, but I definitely did use this pillow for a lot of things in the bed when it comes to breastfeeding and sleeping. This to me works so much better than this $40 pillow. And this is like a $10 pillow or whatever. And it doesn't have to be a specific brand, but just the flat, flimsy ones. I love this so much more than a Bobby pillow, and I would have never guessed. I just happened upon it with my daughter, and we both loved it, and it worked for us. Next, I'm going to talk about skincare products. Again, everybody's skin is different, so what works for one baby may not work for the other. What I found with both of my babies, which I have shared that they both had baby acne. Their dad had it. I've never experienced it. I've never experienced anybody or seen any baby with baby acne until my kids. So of course I went through so much, being so sad that their skin was breaking out so bad. And what I found at the end of the day was there's a million products out there, but keep it simple with Aveeno. I do not recommend Johnson's & Johnson's products at all. Not the lavender, not the pink, none of them. I just feel like I've heard so much about them having such harsh chemicals in their products that it's just not worth it. Honest is good. Shea Moisture has some good products. The Dove broke my son out, and he's 2 years old. It gave him a rash on his stomach, and it contributed to her baby acne, I feel like, as well. But Aveeno is probably the only product that I feel like did not contribute to her baby acne. It didn't irritate her skin. It helped, if anything. Now it's kind of a bummer because when I had kids, I was excited to use Johnson's & Johnson's for the smell, because I absolutely love the smell of Johnson's & Johnson's. Whereas Aveeno, it smells like nothing. So it kind of is a bummer because your babies don't smell like that good Johnson's & Johnson's that we grew up with. But I just go with the lightly scented shampoo and wash. This is the only body wash I use on her. This is the only shampoo I use on her. And then this is the Eczema Theory Moisture Cream. If your baby has dry skin, which I find very common in the African American community, a lot of times we do have dry skin. So even if you don't have eczema, or your baby does not have eczema, this is a thicker, it's not too thick, but it has like oatmeal and like skin protectants in it. So it kind of will help to moisturize baby and keep their skin healthy and looking and feeling good without doing too much. So don't go for the pretty scented stuff. Just go for Aveeno and call it a day, and your kid's skin will thank you. Now the next thing I'm going to talk about is nails. Both of my babies came out as newborns with long nails. I think it's pretty much common for most babies either way it goes. So the obvious thing is a nail file. Hers is Minnie Mouse, but I can't find it at the moment, so this is just one of our backups. And when they are newborns, they're really small, so if it's your first baby, you might not want to use a nail file. I was comfortable with Dakota, my second child, but my first child, my son, I wasn't. If that's the case, if you're not comfortable with filing their nails, a lot of people will just bite their fingernails. I feel like I couldn't get close enough to kind of bite it as much as I needed to. So find some good emery boards or nail files and just file it down so that they're not scratching themselves, because as newborns they really do scratch themselves. Like, you think they're cool for 2 seconds and then there's a big scratch on their face. If you're just not comfortable altogether, I would say just mittens. Now Dakota has probably about 10 pair of mittens because I kept them on her at all times. I feel like some people are against the whole mitten thing. Both of my kids wore mittens like the first month or two. She doesn't wear them at all now. but I just feel like they helped with making sure she was not scratching herself. Otherwise, for the most part, I didn't really use the emery boards because I was comfortable with the nail file or the nail clippers for her. And I do clip her nails every single Monday. Sometimes I forget, of course, but I try to clip her nails and her toes once a week, and she doesn't need these anymore. But mittens, you definitely need mittens because newborn babies scratch themselves so much. They also pull their hair a lot, so the mittens help from them pulling their hair when they get angry. So as you probably should already know, when you have a newborn baby, you don't just want to use the same normal laundry detergent that you would use for the rest of your family. You kind of want to go with something super mild. We go with Dreft. I know that like pretty much every major brand like Tide, Gain, they all have a super mild formula of their normal, I guess you would say, laundry detergent that makes it safe for babies. I think the Tide one is like, Tide is usually an orange bottle, but the one that's safe for babies is like a white bottle. Don't correct me if I'm wrong, but something like that. But again, we go with Dreft, and this is for stage 2 active baby. Now that she is learning to sit up and she's putting her hands in her mouth and ready to be on the floor and crawling, we are integrating stage 2. I do use this for all of us for since she's been born. I pretty much have only used this for us and our clothes and our bedding, just to help with her skin. But the stain remover, this one is by Dreft, and again, it is safe for the babies. So what I do is this one in stage 1 for the newborns, and that one is super duper mild to make sure that it doesn't irritate the baby's skin. And then I buy this. You need this if your baby's gonna have throw up, poopy explosions, especially for the poopy explosions. If ever your baby has a poopy explosion, just take it off. If it's a lot and it's chunky, obviously you want to rinse it out like in the tub or something like that and get the excess off. But if it's just the actual stain, you kind of want to douse it with the stain remover before you put it in the wash, and it goes away like nothing ever happened. Any stain that I've ever had on any of my baby's clothes always comes out with this. Like, some people may think it doesn't work, but it really does work, especially those first 2 months when you have those poopy explosions. I highly recommend this. Also, something else I recommend is the what do you call it? I also recommend, of course, a bassinet. Most people say, oh, my baby's gonna sleep in a crib. But realistically, most parents are so paranoid with having their babies in another room in a crib. So if you can get some type of bassinet, we did go with the Halo bassinet. That one kind of pulls onto the bed so that she's right next to me and I can hear every move and, you know, be right there when she needs me. But just some kind of bassinet for that first 2 months. After that, you may get a little bit more comfortable with them sleeping away from you in their own room or across the room in their own crib. But I think in that first few months, if you don't go with the bassinet, go for something like the DockATot, which is a safer type of cushion where you could put the baby in the bed with you in the DockATot, and they're separated so they won't roll onto you or you won't roll onto them, if that makes any sense. So I'm almost done. These two are pretty much obvious. These are nasal aspirators. Get it from the hospital. Make sure you get one. If you can grab two. That way you have two around if you lose one. Nothing works better than the hospital nasal aspirators, in my opinion. I've even tried the ones that you what do you call it? Inhale and like suck the boogers out through the tube. Nothing works like those. Also from the hospital, make sure that you get one of these. And this is pretty much a really fine tooth comb. This is going to help if your baby gets cradle caps. So at least with my kids, when they first were born, I didn't really know if they would have cradle caps. Cradle caps doesn't happen at least for maybe cradle caps for my kids didn't really develop until maybe about 2 weeks. My son's was a little bit more extreme as a newborn because I was not using the right products, whereas with Dakota, hers was just in the top instant and it wasn't a whole lot, and it's because I kept it at bay with oil and one of these combs, and I just would every day once or twice a day, just comb her hair all over. And when I do with her hair is I comb it in different directions, because you don't just want to comb it back or comb it forward. You kind of want to comb the hair all forward, all over, all backwards, all sideways. And this kind of helps to stimulate hair growth, or I've been told. And this is going to help to kind of scoop out some of that cradle caps a little bit. Also, for bedtime, make sure that you go with easy pajamas. I know that we find the cute ones that we want, and there's like 30 snaps on it, but it's not realistic at the newborn age. Now Dakota sleeps through the night, so whatever pajamas she has on, I don't wake her up. If she wakes up and she poops or something like that, of course I'll change her diaper. But if she sleeps through the night, I do not wake her up to change her diaper. But in that first 2 months, they are waking up typically every 2 hours, so you want to make sure that you put your baby on something very easy. I would say go with a layette, I think they're called, where you put it on the baby, but and it comes on them pretty much like a dress, and they are universal for girls and boys, but it just makes it so where you can kind of just pull it up and change the diaper and pull it back down, and I have to like unbutton or rebutton. Or I would just go with a regular onesie and keep the house kind of warm, so that they're not cold. Or I would go with a onesie that zips, just to make it a little bit easier. But I definitely would not be doing like buttons or anything like that in that first 2 months, just because you're going to be changing so many diapers that it's just going to make it harder for you to get the job done. So hopefully that was helpful for you guys. These are just things that I find to be like must-haves in that first 2 months. It kind of just helps to make things a little bit easier for me. So hopefully something in this set of stuff will help you guys. If there was something that was a holy grail item for you, be sure to leave it in the comments down below. Maybe I'll have another baby in the future and it'll help me. Who knows? Also, make sure that you have like beanies for your babies, or like hair bows. I get mine from Amazon, where I got like a pack of 10 beanies, and then for like 10 bucks. And then I got like a pack of like 20 hair bows, and there's literally one in each color you can ever imagine for like 8 bucks. And those kind of just take her normal everyday t-shirts and outfits and make them that much more grand by making them like accessorized and stylish. I know that's a little bit vain, but you spend 20 bucks on a pack of beanies and a pack of hair bows, and you have completely revamped her wardrobe. If you do have a girl, it's something so much more spectacular. It made her a fashionista in training. And yeah, I hope that was helpful for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.